my back, boy. Please don't think it's sweet, I stay with the heat even though I'm a sad boy. You better watch the way you breathe around me for that breath be your last, boy. I've been drinking red, boy. I've been chopping out these birds, McCoy. No, I made my rich in really 9 months. Overseas, honey skin.
Like for the past few days, welcome to the channel for another wonderful part of this series. And those who may be wondering, don't worry, I'm working on the Asta Arthur series. It's about to end with the final part. I'm probably not going to cover the Lucia shit, and I'm going to skip over it and only cover Spade, because I honestly don't think there's going to be much needed to cover there. Asta's going to mollywop everybody. But before that, I have a hello announcement. I don't have 9 parts ready for y'all back to back. No, for once, my inability to do fucking basic math has worked in your favor, because I have 11 parts and I just messed up the numbering a little bit. So yeah, let's get right into it. No more talking about everything else. Let's begin with the story again. Moments later, after getting far enough from the island, all the Straw Hats are properly filled in on the situation by Vivi. By then, the sun begins to rise, and Usopp is the most dumbfounded by her story. We sleep for a little bit, and you're telling me we're facing a warlord? Yep, fun, right? No, not fun. I can't pull weapons from a gate like you can. Don't worry about it. Just leave Crocodile to me, alright? Meeting adjourned. As he stands, however, Vivi says to take this more seriously because it is still a warlord they're going after. She's right, you know. Instantly hearing this new voice with haste, everyone looks to the rail, but Luffy doesn't even turn back, only asking, "What's up?" "I'm just so glad you managed to escape. I thought you may have been caught in the crossfire." Everyone readies for a fight, but see the look on their captain's face. It shows no worry, but they still stay on guard as Luffy turns with a smile. "Oh, that's sweet. I need more people like you." As he begins to float, he crosses his legs, resting his face in his hands. "So, who is she, Vivi?" What are you doing here, Miss All Sunday?" "I met your friend earlier, you know," said Miss All Sunday. "Answer the question," Zoro said. "She's a close partner to Mr. Zero. She's the one we followed to find out everything. Actually, I let you follow me, and seriously? One measly princess declaring war against a warlord for her country? How pathetic. Don't make fun of my efforts. I will get my kingdom back, my country back." "Yep, and I'm gonna help. So again, why are you here? And who are you?" Though he shows a smile, the frightening presence he exudes reminds her of Crocodile, and she smiles nervously. "I simply came to warn you. The course you're heading on is Little Garden. It's not a, oh, just that? I don't care. We'll just land there and I'll handle it." "Hey, you want to join my crew?" "Don't just ask that," shouts Nami. "I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind though," says Sanji. "Shut up, Sanji," everyone shouts. "See, we're a fun bunch. You don't want to join?" "I appreciate the offer, but I will have to decline. Also, I assume you have an eternal pose, yes?" Holding his hand out, Luffy forms a gate which drops a golden one. "The stuff of legends, Miss All Sunday, and I have the world's greatest navigator at my side." I still don't know where he's pulling these weapons from, but they're not just weapons. Items, it seems, from all kinds or stored within this gate he and his friends keep talking about, thought Robin. She would then leap off the ship, landing on a sea turtle that had brought her here, and begins to sail off with Vivi shouting, "You're just gonna let her leave? Is she that strong?" "What? No, I could kill her in 10 seconds flat." "Then why?" As he lands, Luffy takes off his jacket, putting it around her. "Calm down, okay? You're gonna be fine. Ain't that right, Nami?" "Yeah, just leave the guiding to me, alright? Also, if you don't want us to get involved, you shouldn't have told us everything like an idiot," said Luffy. "You made me say that." "Oh yeah, well, whatever." I just can't understand this man," Vivi thought. As they continue to sail, Luffy changes into some new clothes again, as does Vivi, who comes out wondering if maybe everyone's running a strategy meeting, only to stare at a bizarre sight at the lower deck. Well, she sees a hot spring and asks, "What? How is that?" The wide deck was now basically reconstructed to hold a hot spring, which shouldn't even be possible. And walking around, Sanji serves everyone drinks, slamming down Zoro's violently in front of him. "Here you go, sir." "Why, thank you," Zoro said. No pouting, Sanji. I made a promise, Luffy said. Without my consent? Screw this guy. Sanji, can I get a refill? Right away, Nami Swan. He turns and darts off when he sees Vivi and absolutely goes love crazy for her as well, asking if she wants something. And Vivi runs down past them, asking why they're so relaxed. Karu, you too? Too relaxed to even listen, Karu lets out a calm breath and he's also in the tub. Nami gets out saying, the hot spring is kind of hard to explain, but as for why we're not doing anything, it's just kind of what it's like around here. I like it, don't you? I just wish you guys would be more prudent. You know, one thing I've learned about being with this crew, your troubles just melt away when we're all together. Especially on Mary. She sees them goofing off almost like a family, and Vivi can't help but agree, and though in the back of her head she's still worried, she takes in the moment. But how the hell is there a hot spring just here now? What is your devil fruit, Luffy? Never ate one. What? I was born like this, no one could ever explain it, so I stopped trying to figure it out. Just go with the flow, have a drink. Sanji then offers her one at that point, and she takes it, taking a seat to just digest everything, but she doesn't mind these pirates, they're pretty nice. Very soon, they then reach Little Garden, and Luffy puts away the hot spring back in his gate while Mary makes his way through a path, and they now see a forest surrounding them. Little Garden? That's a horrible name for this place, everything is huge. Are there giants living here? A massive bird flies over them at that point, startling them with just its mating call or whatever it was cawing, just as a tiger then thuds at the shore, bleeding out, coming from nowhere, seeming to have been thrown around by some bigger animal. By this point, however, Luffy noticed that Nami was a little bit, anxiety ridden with everything. Usopp is always anxiety ridden, but he was focusing on her, so he gave her a little present. And from a gate drops a scythe. And Usopp holds his hand out but receives nothing. And Luffy asks, what? What do you mean what? I'm not getting anything? You're our sniper, says Sanji. You don't need a weapon, right? What did you spend all those hours preparing tricks for? As he freezes in embarrassment, he tries to cover it up with an arrogant laugh while crossing his arms and pointing that long nose of his to the sky. Of course I don't need anything. Good. Now, let me show you how it works, said Luffy, as he grabs and swings to the right with the scythe carving into space, and the blade of it appears beside Nami, who jumps as her eyes slowly turn to see the scythe pull back through the space, and everyone watches completely shocked. Oh, come on, you can give me that one? Shouts Usopp. As he tosses it back to Nami, Luffy says, nope, just think about where you want to cut and it'll always reach. Sap's a bit of power though, so be careful. Who cares? This is the ultimate defense weapon. Thank you, Luffy. Well, you don't need to cry about it. Now, let's go on with our adventure. Wait a minute, I just realized. Why did you give me this? It's not like we're going in, right? We're just passing by, right? Asked Nami. Luffy's smile, however, grows bigger as we cut to Nami shouting while Luffy flies beside Vivi, riding Karoo, and the two head into the forest. Obviously, he said they had to go explore as well. You did this stuff quite a lot, huh? Asked Vivi. You're telling me, I didn't know a princess would be so interested in an adventure. I guess we're not that different then. Maybe not. While they head off, Nami gives up on trying to call them back, and Zoro just got off the ship, and this is when he's called by Sanji. Hey, while you're out there, can you get us some supplies? We're kind of running low. Alright. I'll get something you'll never be able to. The hell you say? Those are fighting words, bastard. You got a problem? As he slams his foot on the rail of Mary, Sanji lights his cigarette, saying definitely. I challenge you to a hunt, as a matter of fact. Oh my god, it just gets worse, thought Usopp. Meanwhile, Luffy finds a creature he had never seen before, and Vivi leans forward looking at it closely from below. It was like a bird, but a reptilian one, which Luffy follows, leaving the creature shocked that a human could do what it could. Hey Luffy, this is kinda weird. Huh? Why? Just then a massive snarl is heard as they return, getting shocked to see a long-necked dinosaur, and Luffy's smile grows even more, with Vivi saying the name of the species. I knew something was weird. This is a prehistoric island. Nice. Anyway, I'm gonna ride the dinosaur. As he flies to the creature, Vivi says to be careful before thinking back to Luffy massacring a bunch of people and just shutting up. So, big guy, how the hell are you still alive? He asked the creature. Is that an earthquake? As the ground begins to shake, the Luffy cannot feel it because he's flying, he can see it, and he sees someone running over, as does the dino, who is then beheaded, leaving Vivi shocked to see a giant hand catch the head as the rest of the animal falls, causing another bigger quake. Have had guests in a while. One that can fly, huh? Shouts Dory. An actual giant. Man, it's been a while since I've seen one of you guys. Hey Vivi. As he looks down, the freaked out Vivi is trying to wake up Karoo, who was foaming at the mouth on the floor in fear of this giant person, and she wondered if things could get worse. Dory invites them to his home, and so they go there, so it kinda does get worse, and they sit at a bonfire with him, but he's surprisingly kind and very polite. By the way, why are you on this island? Asked Luffy. Is the other one your friend? Oh, you met Brogy. Nope, I just know he's here. Wait, there's another giant present? Asked Vivi. Yep. You're a real funny guy. Well, a while ago I got into it with someone, and my home lived by a code. Settling disputes meant duels, and me and him have been going at it for 100 years already. 100 years? What's even the point of fighting at this point? Shouts Vivi. Well, that's the thing. Oh. He's then alerted by the volcano on the island, and which stands saying their fight is a matter of honor, as he begins to march forward, and we start to see Brogy make his way towards Dory, who he clashes with, as Dory says, the thing is, we forgot the reason we're even fighting for. It's been a while. Their clash releases a massive shockwave as they battle it out, while Usopp watches, admiring their strength, and the giants' fight ends in a draw like it has been for the last 100 years. So they return to their respective camps, bidding farewell until they fight again. Man, that was awesome. Why are you so excited? They were hurting each other, said Vivi. Also, we need to leave. Not that this isn't literally the most amazing thing I've ever witnessed. As he grabs a cup of booze, he pours some for himself, when Luffy for a moment gets a flash of information, with Brogy's cup then being kept at bay by the little boy, as he looks down, seeing the little man flying and holding the cup back with his arm, and showing a smile. I want to lay off for a bit and heal your wounds. Never know when that volcano might erupt next. Whatever you say, kid. Hey, whoa! As his cup is yanked away from him and thrown to the sky by the chains of Enkidu, it explodes right on cue, blinding them with a bright light, and for a moment, Brogy on the other side looks to his rival's direction, confused. An explosion? What the? Did someone just try to sabotage me? Asked Dory. Don't know who, but it seems so, yeah, said Luffy. I'm gonna be gone for a little while. Okay, Vivi, I'll be back. She nods, realizing this is serious, and Luffy flies off as his eyes gleam with golden color. His color of observation trails to the presence of the enemy, to the house of wax, as we have seen before in the anime, and it's just in the middle of the forest somewhere. As he lands before it and knocks, inside Mr. 3, as he sips on some tea, lifts an eyebrow, wondering who this is as he gets up, looking to the sleeping Mrs. Golden Week in the corner. Would I kill you to take this seriously? We're hunting a criminal who, as he opens the door, the man instantly backs up with Miss Golden Week opening her eyes wide, and from outside we see the wax house shatter and collapse. From the rubble, Mr. 3 is blown out, and appearing above him, Luffy axe kicks him in the back as he screams in anguish. Yeah, sucks when you get fucked over, doesn't it? As he crashes into the rubble, Mr. 3's body twitches as Miss Golden Week's hand reaches out and comes out of the rubble, and Luffy then lands before her, and she instantly backs up. You bastard. Yeah, go to sleep, kid. His body pulses with energy as her eyes go blank, and she begins to fall. She crashes face first, and Luffy smacks his hands together and goes to fly off. He's just dusting his hands off, by the way, that's what I meant. And he wants to gather everyone when he hears a ring. Better. Luffy releases a chain from behind him, which digs into the rubble, pulling out the snail transponder and bringing it in front of him, and he presses it, receiving the call. You're late with your report, Mr. 3. Yeah, wrong man, bastard. Instantly, the tone of Mr. Zero changes, asking who he is currently talking to, and the man says, Monkey D. Luffy. You're more interesting than I thought. My men aren't so weak, so... Oh, it's clear you don't care enough about them if you sent them after me, after what I just did at Whiskey Peak. I'm just gonna warn you now, no matter how many more you send at me, I'm gonna destroy every one of your men until I find you. Why so obsessed, Straw Hat? You're shooting us out of your range. Cause it sounds like fun to kick a warlord's ass. Be seeing ya. His chains then crush the transponder and fade to golden dust as Luffy pushes off the ground, flying back to the sky, and he comes to oversee the entire island. And he sees Sanji and Zoro going crazy with their hunts, which leaves him laughing as he then breathes in, "Hey guys!" Though some of them cannot actually see him, his voice is resonant enough when he shouts, "We're leaving, be back at the ship." "Damn, I was just getting to the good stuff," says Zoro. Looking at his blade and arm, he finds that his arm is still shaking and smiles as before him lay a pile of creatures he caught. By the way, I'm going to explain this very briefly because someone mentioned it. He cannot get sucked dry of Haki because he doesn't literally have any of it. Haki has to be built, so while at some point he will get drained of it, that will be during when he's like hardcore training or when they fight a very strong enemy. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but the point is, even if it does try to suck him dry of Haki, the swords are part of Luffy's treasure in this, so he can control them and make them stop. So you don't have to worry about that. Just wanted to clear that up for anyone who was wondering, because someone mentioned it, but I hope this answers enough. Alright, so eventually everyone regathers at Mary, and the ship begins to sail out, and alongside them walk the two giants. "So this is your captain," said Brogy. "Got a lot on your shoulders, little man." "I'm not that worried. I have a pretty good crew, you know. Also, why did you guys bring all these animals on board?" He turns while sitting on Mary's head, finding that Sanji was trying to count how many he caught, and the cook says, "Moss had pissed me off, that's why." Okay, I have an item that gives you damn near infinite ingredients, you know. So, a gate then ripples, forming around, Luffy's entire upper half, making it seem like he was severed, leaving them so weirded out, but by this point they're kind of used to it. And the portal then slowly fades and disappears, showing Luffy holding a rolled red luxurious cloth that he then lets fall to the floor. "Ask for something. Anything." Ooh, me first, something simple," says Usopp. Wine." As he asks for this, from this tablecloth pops up this very fine looking type of like bottle, and they're all left completely shocked, obviously, as Usopp shouts, "Oh, come on, I was gonna ask for something. Can I have anything today?" Scooping up the bottle, however, Zoro opens it and begins to chug it down before stopping and letting out a gasp. "Damn, okay, what the hell is this stuff? I already feel drunk." "But not really? It's not even the alcohol. If you had this, why did you need a cook for, you bastard?" "Well, he can't make meals. I said ingredients, and I can't cook for crap, obviously. What could be more perfect for my cook than something that can get him anything he wants?" Sanji freezes, realizing Luffy's true attention, and smiles. "You're gonna give me this? It's one of a kind. Take good care of it." The giants close in, startling everyone at this point, asking if they could get something, but Luffy says maybe when they figure out the winner, eventually they can, but they must get back to their adventures, helping Vivi, of course, and they're slowly heading out back to the sea, so the waves are rocking. This is when Sanji rolls the cloth in, but a giant shadow slowly looms over all of them. "There it is," said Dory, "the Island Eater." "He said he didn't want our help for sure, right?" asked Brogy. "Then this is gonna be quite the scene. I haven't seen a conqueror in a long time." As everyone panics, Vivi holds onto Karoo as Mary struggles to even keep balance, and Luffy raises his hand, his body becoming enveloped with the golden aura as he smiles. "I'm gonna go a bit crazy with this one." From a giant gate, the tip of a massive blade shows Luffy telling everyone to hold on as the creature opens its mouth wide for a bite. "Sul Agna! Vaporize!" shouts Luffy, swinging his arm overhead and blasting out the giant blade in all its glory. It blows a massive hole in this creature, leaving behind a massive heat wave so powerful it even makes the giant sweat, and leaves his crew once again in awe of his power. His Sul Agna, after this attack, turns to nothing again after returning to his side, and it was truly massive but also covered in flames, just like in the Fate series. Nothing really changed about it. Luffy then turns around, beginning to laugh. "Man, that was awesome, right guys?" "Yeah, whatever you say," said Nami. "Oh, Karoo's out cold again." "Really? Why?" "Hey, you shitty cook, can you make something?" asked Zoro. "I kinda need it right now." "Yeah, in this case, I'm not even gonna argue with anything. Who's up for a buffet?" They all raised their hands, with an excited Luffy then flying high and saying goodbye to the giants, who waved back with wide smiles. And Usopp also bids farewell, saying, "One day I promise I'm gonna visit Elbath, and by then I'll be a true warrior, a brave one. It was good meeting you. Watch out when you're in the Grand Line now, alright?" "Yep, it's only gonna get more fun," said Luffy. "You know, you could tell us when you're doing crazy stuff and what's gonna happen when you do crazy stuff and when you're gonna just do anything bizarre," said Vivi, like from now on. Next time. Let's eat. I'm craving shrimp." He flies into the dining room with Sanji hearing him bang on the table asking for food already. "Wake the hell up, damn it. I'm not versed in mystical items." "But how about you, Nami and Vivi Swan?" As they make their way to the dining room, they all tell him what they want, and that day they dine like never before, and also berate Luffy for not telling them about this item sooner because it is amazing. However, this item actually now belongs to Sanji, even if Luffy is the owner. Things are going great, and Luffy's lock pose or eternal pose lets you go anywhere you want, doesn't need to reset, and it's very awesome. But on the way, Nami gets sick, because of course she does. "Please don't tell me Nami's gonna die," asked the cheery Sanji. Luffy, Usopp, Vivi, and Sanji have been watching over her this entire time as she wheezes and just shakes. Her body temperature just keeps rising and rising. It's probably the climate. It's one of the dangers of entering the Grand Line. "Isn't there anyone on board who knows about medicine?" asked Vivi. Pointing to Nami, however, Usopp and Luffy leave Vivi in a nervous sweat as she sighs, realizing that Nami is basically the glue holding this crew together. "It's your call, Luffy. Of course we're gonna find our doctor. Alabasta can wait. Nami?" Kneeling down to her, Luffy asks if he can use the lock pose for a bit, and with a smile she nods. This is when, holding out his hand, Luffy summons back to him the lock pose, saying, "Show directions to the nearest island." The lock pose begins to reset and instantly points south, and as such he runs outside, seeing Zoro lifting weights and asks him to help him turn Merry. So dropping his weights, Zoro nods as Usopp runs out asking what he can do, as does Sanji. But Luffy, as he goes to the wheel, tells him to focus on Nami instead. "You and Vivi are her lifeline right now. I'm counting on you." As he nods, he heads back into the room to make Nami some hot soup. But as Vivi watches over Nami and changes the hot towel on her head, she begins to wrestle in bed, shifting over and over. You need to let Luffy know." "Let him know what?" asked Vivi. "Something in the air. It was different for a minute when the door opened. Something big is coming." As her eyes widen, Vivi runs out saying that she'll be back and asking Karoo to stay. And as she makes it out, she looks to Luffy, steering them along. "Luffy, there might be a storm on the way." "Is that so?" As his eyes shine, the future he envisions slowly comes to light, with the violent wind beginning to build and grow into a cyclone before them, forcing everyone to hold on as they approach. But Luffy calmly summons a bow and a drill sword that then compresses, turning smaller, more compact, and he uses it as an arrow. Pulling it back, he covers himself with a rainbow-like aura, and everyone holds as he lets go. At the speed of light, this arrow pierces and blows away this natural disaster and unraveling it like nothing, causing the seas to shake. Did you just stop a tornado?" shouts Usopp. "I said we're finding a doctor. Even a sinking won't stop me right now," said Luffy. "Focus." "I don't even know why I'm worried about anything at this point," said Vivi. "Hang on, Nami. We're gonna make it." And so the morale begins to rise by their captain taking charge past the rough seas, and this day finally rewards them by bringing them to a new region of the Grand Line, one that was filled with extreme snow and cold. They've changed their wear, being given clothes that have the effect of insulating heat for them, and Luffy is still steering, while Zoro is being his lookout. Usopp is at the cannon, doing the same thing with his goggle binoculars, just looking out, and Usopp asked, "Hey, you guys see that? I see a guy standing on water?" Zoro and Luffy take notice of this man, who then waves to them, and he's then elevated by a submerged ship that easily outclasses theirs in terms of size. But Zoro and even Usopp stay calm. After everything Luffy has done for them, the things he's willing to do, they truly fear nothing at this point. If it comes down to it, they will fight, and Luffy will always end it. But whether these people were enemy or foe, they picked a bad day to get in Luffy's way because he's not smiling like he always is. As a matter of fact, he hasn't let go of the wheel once during their entire journey. He then sees the ship raise its flag. "Pirates. I changed my mind. Zoro, just make way already," said the swordsman as he unsheathes Enma, when Usopp then fires a cannonball at the ship, denting the side of it. And meanwhile, Luffy, using his golden disc, lets Zoro make his way to their deck, using them like stairwells of sorts. and the angry pirates on the opposite ship began to descend towards Mary in anger, swinging. But in a flash, Zoro appears on their deck, cleaving most of them, and those who are falling towards Mary are pierced by blades and stuck to their own ship as they bleed out. Wapol, upon seeing Zoro killing his men, panics, shouting, "Get him already!" "Be my guest," said Zoro. From behind, he senses an enemy and spins around, slicing them apart before dashing at Wapol, who opens his mouth wide to obviously eat him. But Zoro dodges an arrow coming at him and this bite, which then stabs into the deck instead. "What the? Oh, wait, Mosshead." Everyone looks up as Sanji begins to descend with his lit cigarette, looking quite pissed. Nami Swan's trying to sleep, damn it. He crashes with a powerful kick, releasing a shockwave, which shouldn't be as powerful as it seemed, and Zoro notices a change in him. With Sanji turning to glare at him, he sees this mark on his face, a red one, before then blasting past him and kicking Wapol, releasing a slight spark of like lightning, just a little bit though. And all of the people on board are shocked as he's then sent flying, slamming into the giant mass behind and coughing up blood. At this point, Wapol is completely out of the fight, so everyone's just panicked. "Kill them now! Don't let them reach the doctors!" The two Straw Hat Pirates eventually come back to back, and Zoro asks, "What did Luffy do?" "He said we can talk about it later. I'm finishing this fast and getting back to Nami Swan." God, even now you're a goddamn pervert. On the Mary, meanwhile, Usopp watches as multiple pirates are knocked into the sea by the two, and he looks back to Luffy, who has beside him that one stone tablet, and wonders what he told Sanji. But by themselves alone, Zoro and Sanji subjugated the entire ship and came back exhausted, and also discovered something: a bunch of doctors who thanked them by giving them their medical expertise and helping Nami. They can't do much though, and are happy they are nearing Drum Kingdom, as they can get more supplies there. But at the shore of the kingdom wait many denizens ready with shotguns as the ship would dock, but they get ready to fire at them, and Dalton steps up saying to wait. "What business do you have here?" "Stop, don't!" A doctor shows himself, waving to the villagers who recognize him, and they put down their weapons. "It can't be. They're back? Does that mean—" "No need to worry. Wapol has been defeated." As they hear this, moments later, the beaten king is brought before them, tied up, brutally bruised, since Sanji stepped on him all over and over and over for disturbing Nami's sleep. And the Straw Hats now standing on their land. They don't really know like what to do, because these people obviously don't trust them, but Vivi tries to cut the little tension in the air. "We have no quarrel with you. I assume you're the leader, right? Can you grant us sanction? We just want to get our friend some help." "Pirates asking you for sanction. What a bizarre day," says Dalton. "And no, I'm not anything. He was supposed to be our leader, our king, but he fled when we needed him." He points to Wapol as the Straw Hats are surprised by this news. Vivi, most of all, is angered to see such an act of irresponsibility. But before she can say anything, Luffy steps up. "Who's your best doctor? He, she, or what? Where are they?" "That mountain. You'll find Dr. Correa. However, you must promise not to hold it against me if her methods are quirky." Hearing this, Luffy shows his big smile again, bowing to Dalton and saying thanks for his help as he floats and flies back to Nami's room. "Wait, he can fly? A devil fruit." "Yeah, I can see how people saying that would get annoying," says Sanji. But flying back out instantly, Luffy now holds Nami and makes his way to one of these mountaintops quick. She's obviously wrapped in a blanket, and Luffy's helping out with a bit of his mystical whatever the hell he uses. I'm not really going to go into detail. She's okay. Quickly, the doctors that were taken by Wapol, make their way off the ship, apologize for not being able to help, and say they are ready to help in whatever way they can now. And this of course really brings hope to Drum Kingdom, and Dalton accepts them back, but wants to gather everyone and ask if they truly want their treatment. "You understand, right?" Dalton asked. The leader of the doctors nods. Meanwhile, Luffy lands on the mountain, finding before him a massive castle. "Yeah, the cold's just gonna get worse. Nami, I'm gonna put you in Babylon, okay? Is this safe?" He nods, and he would then hold her up as she slowly begins to fade into golden dust, entering the gate of Babylon and landing on a luxurious bed in a certain chamber. While she snugs herself for even more warmth, she says, "Feels nice." Luffy, meanwhile, would sit down, hanging his head with a smile and waiting, but because his item, none of his items really are made for this level of weather, he actually feels the cold a lot more. It's not much, but it's still annoying. Luckily, he's literally just built different. For those of you who don't know, Gilgamesh is like 2/3 God, because apparently gods don't know what math is. But anyway, a few hours pass, and eventually a certain woman makes her way up the mountain with the reindeer at her side. When they find the man sitting at their door, the man would then stand ruffling the snow that piled on his hat and looking them straight in the eye. "Been waiting for you." "Huh, you must be crazy. Did you stay here the entire time?" asked Kureha. "Yep, now you're gonna heal my navigator." As he points to Kureha, she chuckles with Chopper, thinking, "This guy's so weird." The doctor, however, does listen to his request and even watches as Nami is brought out from Babylon, which is extremely bizarre, mind you, and her treatment would quickly begin. Soon, she is feeling much better than when she came in, and hours later, slowly she begins to come to, and her fever has been lessened. She can already feel it. "Wait, who's there?" she asked as she was sitting up and she saw Chopper, who freaks out, hiding horribly and showing his full body while putting his face behind a wall instead. "You idiot, I can still see you." Hiding correctly, Chopper then says to shut up. "Don't try anything, human." "He spoke?" said a shocked Nami. Just then, a loud ruckus goes off in the hallway, reaching Chopper and blasting him into the room, face first, when he gets a knife stabbed onto the floor before him. He screams, obviously in horror, and backs away, scared, hitting something, and looks up to see Luffy. "Oh hey, it's a human!" "Shut up," shouts Kureha as she then punches him in the head, saying, "You've been living with a human." "Nami, you're okay." "Of course I am," said Nami. "I'm not gonna leave you guys stranded." Coming to sit down at this point, Kureha then pulls up her shirt, showing on her belly a mark. The mark that had made her sick, and Nami asks what that is, like what's going on. "It's a bite from Acacia. Had you gone untreated for another 2 days, you'd definitely be dead." "What?" "Thank God we made it here in time," said Luffy. "No thanks to that stupid fat-ass king. Just rest up, okay? I'll have Sanji make you something amazing when you come back." "Wait, no, I can still..." Pushing her down, however, Kureha holds a knife at her. "There are only 2 ways my patients ever leave. Fully cured or dead. You're not going anywhere." "See?" said Luffy. "Don't agree with her. She has a knife at my face." Pulling back, however, Kureha says she would never actually, kill her. And honestly, she never should have gotten this sickness. Just where were you? On some prehistoric island? These things should be extinct. "Yep, we were on an island where dinosaurs are still alive." "Wait, really? Well, aren't you adventurous?" "No, it's my fault for making you stay there," said Luffy. "I was goofing too much. I'm sorry." Everyone becomes quiet until Luffy would then see Nami chuckle, saying that he's being so weird. "What? I'm being ultra sincere right now. Sorry, I'm just not used to that. I'll get better, okay? We'll get out of here. It's fine." "Yeah." Kureha then sighs, grabbing and pushing Luffy out. "Well, that's good and all, but get out, kid. I'm busy." Wait, I have something to say." At this point, while he's being pushed away by Kureha, he holds onto the sides of the door. "Hey, you want to join my crew? I heard she taught you." "What?" thought Kureha. "Pirate crew? Are you stupid?" said Chopper. "I'm weird. I'm not human or anything. Stop messing with me." That's what makes it interesting though, right? As he shows a smile holding so much curiousness, Chopper believes him honestly. And as shown, Luffy has incredible charisma befitting that of a king. People are just entranced by him. Chopper doesn't give him an answer yet, but Luffy tells him to think about it, and while he goes back to the village, well, more like he's dragged away and thrown off by Kureha, who knows he can fly, still. He returns back to the ship and relaxes after having told everyone else who were in Dalton's home that Nami will be okay. And then he lays on Mary's head as he shouts, "Zoro!" Rising from below Luffy, Zoro asks what, as he's obviously, in the sea. Zoro was crazy like that. And Luffy mentions it, saying, "Wow, you're really hardcore, huh? That's freezing, dude." "Best way to train, I say. I know we have a meaning to ask. What did you do to Cook?" "They're called command spells. It needs a certain level of loyalty from the target to work. I don't like using it so much, though." "Why? That thing sounds kind of perfect." "I feel like I'm forcing someone to. None of us would feel that way if you ever used it, because that means we get to protect the crew. You know you can rely on us sometimes, right?" "Yeah, my bad. I just get worried sometimes, I get too protective." "Well, I don't certainly need you coddling me. I want to be the strongest swordsman. Don't ever forget our promise. You watch our back, we watch yours. You finish the fight. Sounds like a good way to work for me." "I ever told you you're the best first mate? It's the minimum for the future king of the pirates. Also, can you pull me out?" Luffy, while he turns, will then slide down and fly down, grabbing him. And as he pulls him up, he puts him on the deck, and he's then run up to by a panicked Karoo who just came back from searching for him because Karoo was such a good boy and he was looking for him. And Zoro says, okay, I get it. I ain't going anywhere, alright? I think he likes you. Time then passes and Nami is well enough to walk again and regains her cognitive motions, so Luffy came to pick her up along with everyone else. It was night, they were waiting at the castle gates, and Usopp asked, hey, you think he's gonna stop screaming? Hey, come on, be pirates with us, I think it'll be fun. Sitting atop one of the roofs, Chopper is surprised Luffy is still looking, like, for him at this point, and we cut to Luffy visiting Nami once when he sees Kureha talking with her. It was a flashback. What you talking about? Why do you sound like a schoolgirl or something? Asked Nami. What? I'm interested. Boy, you really want to take my son to sea? Yep. Then can you heal his heart? You might want Chopper, but you don't know him. As he takes his seat, Luffy says he's got nothing but time, and we return to present, with Chopper finding himself on the ground floor. He barely even noticed that he made his way down. He just did, and he was then spotted by Luffy and everyone. Hey, there he is! Wow, it's an actual reindeer, said Zoro. So, good to meet you again, said Vivi. I must have scared you last time, huh? Come on, what do you say? Asked Luffy. I can't come with you. I'm a monster. I'm not like you. I'm a reindeer with a blue nose. But I wanted to say thank you for asking me. It was fun while it lasted. Shut up already and come with us. As he raises his arms to the sky, Luffy at this point doesn't even want to hear about his insecurities and just wants to hear an answer. And as Boldless leaves Chopper in tears, as Luffy truly does not care about his appearance. Now Chopper was way more inclined to actually join, and the Straw Hats waited for him as he went up to get his stuff. But when he was back, he darts out screaming for his life in his reindeer form. What's going on, Chopper? She's gonna kill me! Behind him chases Kureha, who throws a knife at Luffy, but the captain catches it between his fingers. Thanks for your permission. Shut up, pirate, you're not taking my son. Flying towards Chopper, however, Luffy swoops him up and his belongings. Meanwhile, Vimana spears out of a gate, flying past the Straw Hats, who hold on to it and ride off into the night, and then help each other get on the actual safe spot because they're not trying to fly off and die. As they board, Vivi is amazed by the technology on this thing, but says this all feels wrong. What? Pirates pillaging and stealing from families? What could be more fitting, said Luffy. You know that just makes this worse, right? I'm flying. I'm flying. I'm actually flying, said Chopper. Better get used to it. I'm your captain now. I demand no fear, understand? With an excited but naive look, Chopper nods, saying Roger, and they then reach the Mary soon and land with Vimana fading. They quickly start blasting off. Well, not blasting off, but while they're trying to leave, they're full of energy. It's just hype right now. And this is when pink snow begins to fall. It's like a beautiful show. And they can't help but look at it, and it brings back memory of Hero Look to Chopper, and everyone is just mesmerized. The doctors then came out to spectate, never having once forgotten the words of an old fool who wanted to heal this broken country. I never felt so at home before. We truly need to thank that man. As they look to Luffy and his crew riding off, they also see Luffy bury Chopper's face in his chest as he cries his heart out for his old mentor and father. And we fade to black. With Chopper now having joined the crew, everyone decides to celebrate. Luffy and Usopp put sticks to their noses and their lips and just dance around, leaving Sanji and Zoro laughing their asses off. You can thank Yusaku, he taught me this one, said Luffy. Welcome to the crew, Chopper, said Usopp. This is our ceremonial dance. Would you guys cut it out? He's trying to wash the pink snow, said Nami. She walks to him, asking if he's okay, and Chopper then swivels around, landing and fixing his hat. I will be. Oh crap, I just realized I forgot my... Here. As Nami cuts him off, she hands him a bag of supplies and says Kureha give it to them, and specifically to Luffy, before they even left a few days back. She knew you were planning to leave. She really cares about you. She must just hate goodbyes. Hey everyone! As they look forward, Luffy raises a cup into the sky while flying. We have a new crew member. We finally have a doctor. He's super good at his job. He also sucks at receiving compliments. What? Shut up, I'm not that good, you stupid idiot. Yeah, we can all see that much, they all thought. Let's give him a round of applause. Grabbing a cup, they raise it high, and Chopper does the same, and they officially make him one of their own. Sanji brings out a bunch of food, the quality of which has to be... It's just so amazing that eating anything else would be a travesty at this point. The meat, the plants, the vegetable, everything given by the tablecloth of the North Wind is top tier. And now they're all ready to go beat Crocodile. How would Luffy handle a warlord? Will Alabasta be safe? Find out in the next part of One Piece. Hope y'all enjoyed. This is the 4th part. Finished. Peace. I'm gone.
I caught you lighting matches in the back room. Haters look mad when they pass you. Let's talk about round when it's past due. Raise a glass, dude, no. You don't gotta fight alone.